Welcome to episode 27 of Miami Masterclass. I'm Ian, and in today's episode we're going to run through the month of May 2018 all the way up to the first year player draft, which is the first week of June. We finished 10 and 10 for the month of April. We actually on a 5-game winning streak at the moment, so hopefully we can continue that good form through the month of May. You remember last year we actually went 19 and 9 this month. I mean, if we can get anywhere close to that, I'll be very happy. But we haven't started that successfully, have we? In the last episode, we actually claimed this guy, Jimmy Sherfy, off of waivers, and he's going to slot straight into our team because we are struggling ever so slightly. Our bullpen ERA is 15th. It's the worst in the National League, so we're going to have to make some changes. So what we'll do is let's have a quick look and see who's struggling. Dan Slania is really struggling, as is Tazawa. Tazawa's awful. So you know what? I'm actually I'm going to make a call, and I'm going to place him on waivers. If he gets picked up, then can't really complain because he's on big money and he's not doing a great deal for us. And we're going to put Sherfy into the lineup, and hopefully he can lower that bullpen ERA because we've really been struggling lately, as we've now just lost 3 in a row. This isn't the start of the season that I really wanted. I didn't expect us to be running away with the division, but I kind of hoped we would do a little bit better. So Jose Altuve is already a little bit unhappy because he wants to be in the lineup a lot more, and I'm not too surprised about that. One of my loyal viewers, one of you guys, mentioned that he's actually not really appreciated in this game. It seems like he's a bit sort of undervalued by the AI, and I can see why, because they don't seem to want to use him very frequently, do they? But we're hovering around that 500 ball again, that's pretty disappointing. Now Tazawa is going to drop back down into AAA. How has our new guy been getting on? He's been doing very well, hasn't he? Now Aaron Blair, ERA of 8.1. That's really poor. We need to improve that. He was a gamble because he is so young, but I really want him. I mean, he's hardly pitched. He's been pulled out of games really early every single time. So he's obviously costing us quite a few wins. So he's probably our biggest weakness at the moment. But I don't know if we've actually got anyone in the bullpen that's actually got a decent stamina. I mean, Yarlin Garcia could possibly step up. How's he been getting on? He's got an ERA not much better. So I think we should just persevere with Aaron Blair at the moment. Let's keep going. I mean, I'm hoping that we come into a bit of a winning streak because we're playing under 500 ball. I mean, this is a really bad season for us. This could be the end of me. I could be sacked here at the end of the month. Yeah, look, we're falling well behind, aren't we? We're 8 games back now. This is a dreadful year for us. Anything now? Tanner Scheppers. Tanner Scheppers is done for the season. I'm not too surprised about that because we've just had no luck with injuries, have we? We've just got nothing. Is there anyone on the waiver wire that deserves a sort of call up? We've got Ethan Martin. Got no control though, does he? There's no one really there that could step up into that. So that's concerning, as we'll get through all the rest of them. So who do we bring up then to replace him in AAA? Let's have a look. Is there anyone that deserves a call up? Now Tazawa has come down and he's still got an awful ERA. I really don't know what's wrong with him. Got Joe Ortiz is doing very well, along with Tyler Higgins. So Tyler Higgins, actually, I'm gonna call Higgins up because the last time we brought Ortiz up, he didn't do anything, did he? And we haven't got anyone down here either that could replace Aaron Blair. Give Blair a break. So that's a worry. I mean, we're falling behind here. We're 9 games back. This is painful viewing, isn't it? I don't think I'm going to be reaching the wild card at this rate because we're a long way off. It's still quite early on in the season, but we're going to have to really come into some form, and it doesn't really look like that's going to happen because Bumgarner's out for 2 to 3 months now. So, this is one of those things, isn't it, where the gods are against us. Oh man, I think I might just uninstall this game. I think I'm done. So who do we bring up then? Because we really haven't got anyone. I'll have a quick look at the waiver wire before I make any rash decisions, just in case there's anyone amazing. There's certainly no pitchers. What about on the batting ratings? Yeah, there's no one really stands out, do they? So let's go back then. Who can we bring up to come into the rotation? There's not a lot, is there? Ley Batista, no, he's awful. Kendry Flores, Tom Kohler. Since he's come back down to AAA, he's getting progressively worse down there, so he's certainly not going to get the call up. Sean Townsley, maybe, but I don't think he's really ready for it. Let's have a look then at their pitching ratings. If I can find it, pitching ratings. So we've got who's that? Jake Esch, who came up fairly recently by the looks of things, and yeah, he hasn't set the world alight. I mean, I'm so surprised. I don't understand why Tazawa is doing so poorly. I really don't. He might be the guy that we just sort of have to talk about getting rid of, actually. I might see if we can shop him. And let's see what we can get for him. And no one's interested. I'm actually quite surprised about that. I mean, I guess they look at his stats over the last couple of years and want to avoid him like the plague. We might have to start looking at making a big change. We might honestly have to start looking at trading some star players away. Perhaps someone like Ketel Marte, for instance, someone who's not getting a lot of game time. I mean, maybe even Altuve. Let's see. I'll tell you what, we'll have a look at Marte and we'll have a look at Altuve to see which one gets us the most value. So this is Marte. So what we really need is we need a starting pitcher. And no one's really offering us much, are they? We've got Carlos Carrasco from the Brewers, but he's nothing spectacular. Brandon Finnegan, now he could be interesting because he's rated very, very highly. So Brandon Finnegan from the Royals, he could be quite decent. I mean, he's obviously no Madison Bumgarner, but by bringing him in, at least it gives us another starting pitcher. I mean, I might even try. So that's worth remembering. I'll tell you what, we'll remember that. So remember Brandon Finnegan from the Royals with Marte. And now we'll have a quick look at shopping Altuve. So this is Altuve. So now again, they're prepared to offer us Brandon Finnegan, who's on very low money, so he might be a good risk. And then you got now Yusmeiro Petit. During the off season, the Giants were trying to offload him. Basically, anyone we offered, we shopped around. They offered us Petit, and the reason is because his salary is ridiculous. It's $9.4 million for the next 3 years. He's only going to start going backwards, so I'm not interested in him because we don't really need anything else. It's our pitching that's costing us, and it doesn't seem to be a lot. Brandon Finnegan is probably the go, so I might, because Altuve's unhappy. Marte hasn't said anything yet. So if we get rid of Altuve, let's get Finnegan. But what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to see if they can give us a reliever as well. So I think I will go Andy Oliver. He does seem to be the best player, doesn't he? and they're happy with that one. So we're picking up Brandon Finnegan, who has been playing in the big leagues for a few years now. So he's coming up to the end of his major league service time, but we're actually, because Altuve doesn't seem to be getting much game time, so they're not happy. The fans aren't happy about losing Altuve, but you know what, stuff them. So we've picked up Brandon Finnegan, which is a huge improvement for us, and then we've got left-handed Andy Oliver as well, who, I'll be honest, isn't that great, but he should be an improvement because we don't have any lefty relievers either. And Dan Slania is really struggling, so we might let Dan Slania go, perhaps. But I'm just not sure. I don't want to lose him because I think he's quite talented. But you know, we can't afford to keep him on the team with those sorts of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Yarlin Garcia has been called up in the rotation. And I'm not sure if he's worth it. Because he's struggling a little bit as well. His ERA is quite poor. I think we might bring him back down. Send him back down to AAA. And then we'll bring in... where is he? Waivers. We'll bring back in Andy Oliver. Because he's got Major League experience, Andy Oliver. And he's a lefty as well, just like Garcia. And his numbers aren't too bad. I mean, they're not great, but he's a lot better than Garcia. Let's see if that improves things. See, I mean, we just lost to Cincinnati, and they're an awful team. And come on, guys, let's start getting some wins, because we're still 8 games back, which isn't the end of the world. But we will have a quick look in terms of player development. So Tyler Higgins has gone down. There's not really many pluses, is there? There's a lot of minuses. Tazawa has dropped. He's been issued. Aaron Blanton, he's a big mover, isn't he? By the looks of things, a shortstop in AA. His current power, potential power, his I rating, they've all improved. So he's again just slightly below average on everything, but he could be someone to keep an eye on. CJ Cron, his I rating has declined. Aaron Blair has improved though. He has improved. So hopefully, you know, this, like I say, hopefully the experience in being in the team, in the active roster will improve him. But I kind of wanted him to do a bit more than he's done, as we're falling further behind here. We're 9.5 games back. As Philadelphia have just started to drop off a little bit. So in terms of the All-Star game, I'd be very surprised if we've got anyone. We might have Conley, possibly. We've got Mazzara in right field. He's leading by miles, isn't he? And we have got Jose Fernandez in there too. But, unfortunately, it makes no difference, because if we go back to the standings, yeah, we were 500 ball before, and we're now 7 games away from that. That's tough, isn't it? That's really tough. So we'll have a quick look then at the team just to round out the month. Pitching, I mean, we have done a week of June, so I won't talk about that though. So in terms of May, Pedro Baez has been on a real cold streak. He had a poor month. Otherwise, our rotation has been a bit average, isn't it? No one's done a great deal. Brandon Finnegan's come in and hasn't done much better than Aaron Blair, but Aaron Blair has improved ever so slightly. Otherwise, Jimmy Sherfy, he's come in and look at him, he's on a hot streak, so he seems like a pick. Addison Reed, though, I mean, look at let's have a look, actually. Our pitching is so poor. And to think last year it was so good, and this year it's doing nothing. And our runs scored. So it looks like our pitching is our weakness, because our lineup isn't too bad, really. Yeah, look, I mean, everyone's sort of hovering around those numbers. Kepler Marte is a weakness there. Marco Hernandez hasn't hasn't done much either. Pong-Soo Kim, he's doing okay. Again, nothing spectacular. Ruben Harder did very well this month, as did Nomar Mazara. Again, another great month for him. Tyler Naquin actually did very well. Almonte struggling. Let me know what you guys think. Where should I mean, certainly pitching. I mean, that's obvious because, I mean, if you look at, well, you know, we're second in on base, second in batting average, runs scored. So, I mean, it seems like if our bats aren't working, then we're never going to win because our pitching is appalling. I mean, runs against, we're 12th. That's really bad. Bullpen is still terrible. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with the bullpen. And defensive efficiency is really low as well. So that's quite concerning. I mean, the loss of Bumgarner and Tanner Sheppers has been a huge blow. But surely they're not worth that much, are they? So we've got a couple of guys here on waivers. Pedro Villarreal. He doesn't look anything spectacular. I mean, he's with Cincinnati, who are an awful team, and he's got an awful ERA to go with it, so we won't be picking him up. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll be back in the next episode tomorrow with the first year play draft. Thanks for watching.